Hey everybody, this is Latanya Reese Miles, author of the book Smart Girl, and also the Black author whose event was disrupted earlier this year by a so-called MAGA supporter. And I, first of all, wanted to thank folks for their support and their comments. I really appreciate it. Never expected this incident to go viral. But I also just wanted to share a little bit of behind the scenes and share some information and also of like whatever happened to everything since then. So first thing I just wanted to share was that I was in my hometown during this incident. I was there in order to give a scholarship to a first generation college student at the high school that I attended, formerly known as T.C. Williams, now known as Alexandria City High School. So while I was in town, I thought, wow, wouldn't it be a great idea to host a book signing and talk at my local library. In fact, a library that I talk about in my book, Smart Girl. Well, the night before, on it would have been May 20th, I received an email notification to my author website from a man named John Rebstock. Yes, he uses real government name. And that message, it was like filling out a form, and he said to me, "Why do I hate Donald Trump? Why do I hate straight white men?" You can see it right here, right? And I was like, "Oh my God, this is disgusting." So first thing I did was contacted Yahoo and reported him. And then I also looked him up on Facebook to see his face. And sure enough, Trump supporter, right? So I blocked him immediately. Let me stress, I do not know this man at all. So the next day, which would have been May 21st, I was just starting to welcome people to the event at the library. And he came from the back, so everyone was facing me. And no one knew about the notification outside of my mom. No one knew, so no one was on high alert. And we also didn't know that he was local. His location was not listed in the website in the notification that he sent me. So when he came in, and he was wearing a MAGA shirt. My mind was worrying, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what is this fool gonna do?" Initially, he came in. Again, no one is looking at him. They were all looking at me, but I could see him. He came in. He sat down like cowboy style, and as I was talking, he started making this gesture like "hurry up" type of thing. And so I asked him if he could not do that because it was distracting. And if you've seen the video, whether it was on Reddit or YouTube or TikTok, that's what happened. So he clearly came there to disrupt. There wasn't like a back and forth. There wasn't like debate the issues or anything like that. He just me addressing him was just enough for him to basically act like a fool. So just so you know, there's like waves of even those are overall kind of like a short period of time. Still, there were many ways in which we tried to address this. Keep in mind, we were in a very small contained room. There was only one way in and one way out. It wasn't clear if he was armed, but it was very clear that he was crazy. But initially what happened was there happened to be someone in the room who actually knew him because this guy is a known disruptor. So she spoke to him first, and then when that didn't work, the library staff tried to intervene, and he yelled at them. He yelled at someone for wearing a mask. He called someone a homophobic slur. Some of the video shows him obviously calling names to the security guard there. So that was another wave. And then, of course, yes, I had family there, including a male cousin who confronted him as well too. So the other thing you might not see is after he leaves the room, he does not leave the space immediately. He goes and creates chaos in other places in the library, including right next door was the children's section. And from where I stood, I could see parents and families covering their children because we weren't sure, what this, like I said, what this idiot was going to do. So ultimately, he was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct. We could debate all day long, like, should someone, have swung and all that type of stuff. Let me say this first. If my husband was there, if my cousin Ronnie, William, Scooter, or Buzzy was there, it would have been a whole other conversation. Let me say that. Um, but the fact of the matter is, I didn't want that. I was there. My mother-in-law was visiting me from, she surprise visited me from out of state. There was so many family there. My own daughter was there. My niece was there. My mother was there. This was really like a homecoming for me. The last thing I wanted was someone, a fight to break out in the library that I grew up in. Like that's just my own opinion there. But ultimately, like I said, he was charged. Rep Stock was in jail for 9 days. As soon as he came out of jail, he started contacting me again. And then eventually, a couple months later, a judge told him that they decided that he had done time served. He didn't receive any other addition, no more time in jail. His attorney argued that he was an alcoholic and needed support. And so that was the end of it. The judge did say that he can no longer contact me, and if he does, he will go to jail. So again, I just want to stress, I did not know this man. And just the fact that he showed up and used his government name kind of gives you an indication of some of the crazy thinking that is happening out there, sad to say. So folks, be safe. Just be on alert. You just never know. I will say this though, because I was triggered for a period of time when I was starting getting so many notifications from him, and they're truly disgusting that I was triggered when I started getting notifications again. But I'll end on this note. Not too long ago, I received this awesome message from Doug in Virginia that he heard about this story, and he reached out and asked if I could send him a copy of Smart Girl to his daughter. So just wanted to share this great photo. Thank you all for your support. I appreciate it. Stay strong.